2025 will be a year of goodbyes in the car world. Dozens of cars and SUVs, some of them iconic, others family favorites, are disappearing from showrooms for good. From stricter regulations to the unstoppable push toward electrification, many models we thought would be around forever are now being killed off. In this video, we're taking a closer look at the 30 cars and SUVs saying goodbye in 2025, and what it means for you as a driver or car enthusiast. So, why are so many cars being discontinued? First, stricter emissions and safety regulations make it expensive to keep older platforms alive. Second, the global shift to electric vehicles means many gas-powered cars no longer make financial sense for automakers. And finally, some models simply aren't selling. Buyers have moved on, leaving manufacturers with no choice but to cut them. The result? A wave of discontinuations unlike anything we've seen in recent years. Let's talk about some of the most recognizable names on this list. First up, the Chevrolet Camaro. For decades, it's been one of America's most iconic muscle cars, standing shoulder to shoulder with the Ford Mustang and Dodge Challenger. Known for its aggressive styling, V8 power, and cultural presence from movies to drag strips, the Camaro has been a legend. But with sales declining and stricter emissions rules, GM has decided to end production. It's the end of an era for pony cars, and enthusiasts around the world are already mourning this loss. Next, the Chevrolet Malibu. Once a staple of the American family sedan, the Malibu has been on the road since the 1960s, with millions sold across generations. For many families, it was the go-to affordable sedan. But times have changed. With SUVs dominating the market and sedans losing ground, GM is pulling the plug. The Malibu will officially bow out in 2025, leaving behind a long legacy of everyday dependability. Then there's the quirky Mini Clubman. Launched as a slightly larger and more practical take on the Mini Cooper, it stood out with its split rear barn doors and unique design. It was never the brand's best seller, but it gave Mini fans something different: more space without losing the Mini personality. Sadly, 2025 marks the end for the Clubman, as Mini pivots toward EVs and a leaner lineup. From Italy, we're saying goodbye to some true performance icons: the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio and Stelvio Quadrifoglio. These cars were special because they carried Ferrari-derived engines, sharp handling, and that unmistakable Italian design flair. For enthusiasts, they were the Alfa Romeos that finally lived up to the hype. But as Alfa shifts its lineup toward electrification, the high-performance Quadrifoglio trims will be discontinued, a painful farewell for fans of raw Italian passion. Another Italian sedan that's leaving us is the Maserati Ghibli. For years, it offered buyers an entry point into Maserati ownership: stylish, fast, and luxurious. While it was often criticized for reliability issues, the Ghibli was still unmistakably Maserati, with its exotic looks and character. But Maserati is consolidating its lineup, focusing on SUVs and EVs, and the Ghibli will not survive past 2025. And finally, a shocker from Germany. The Audi A4 sedan, one of the most popular premium compact sedans in the world, is also being phased out in its traditional form. For decades, the A4 has been a benchmark for luxury, comfort, and technology. But Audi is rebranding and restructuring its lineup as part of its EV strategy. While the name may live on in some form, the gas-powered A4, as we know it, is going away. These are just a few of the 30 cars and SUVs disappearing in 2025. Some were cultural icons, others were family staples, and a few were niche favorites. But together, they represent a major shift in the auto industry, a farewell to familiar names, and a clear signal that the future is going electric and SUV heavy. Before we wrap up, let's highlight the most recognizable names disappearing in 2025. Models that defined entire generations of driving, now saying their last goodbyes. Nissan GT-R 35, the legendary Godzilla. After nearly 2 decades of dominating the performance world, the R35 GTR is finally being retired, a true end of an era for JDM fans. Volvo S60 and V60, known for their comfort, safety, and minimalist Scandinavian style, these Volvos are disappearing as the brand doubles down on SUVs and EVs. Lexus RC, a rare blend of reliability and luxury coupe style, but as Lexus moves toward hybrids and electrics, the RC leaves the lineup in 2025. Porsche 718, Cayman and Boxster, gas models. And at number 1, the beloved Porsche 718 Twins. They defined what a modern mid-engine sports car should be. The next generation will be fully electric, ending an unforgettable combustion chapter. These cars shape the roads and the dreams of millions of drivers. Their departure marks not just the end of production, but the end of an automotive era. Now, what happens if you already own one of these cars, or you're thinking of buying one used? For some, resale value could drop, especially if spare parts become harder to find. Maintenance costs may rise as production ends. But there's also the other side. Certain discontinued cars actually gain cult status, becoming future classics. Think about cars like the Pontiac GTO or Toyota MR2, once discontinued, now beloved. So if you're shopping, a discontinued 2025 model could be a bargain or an investment. It's also worth noting that some of these discontinuations are US-specific. In Europe and other regions, a few models will live on a bit longer, depending on demand and regulations. For example, compact sedans may survive in markets where they're still popular, even though they're dead in America. So the impact of these cuts really depends on where you live. But the trend is global. Fewer sedans, fewer coupes, more EVs and SUVs. So, there you have it. 30 cars and SUVs will be saying goodbye to in 2025. Some of them won't be missed, but others will leave a real hole in the car world. Now, I want to hear from you. Which discontinued car are you most sad to see go? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe for more automotive deep dives, and hit the bell so you don't miss future uploads. Thanks for watching. And here's to remembering the cars we're losing in 2025.